No. Over here in South Central West Virginia, Elsa is still quite upset. So we got another 5 inches yesterday. But the highway crews did an excellent job in the roads. You would never know it. So this is a good morning. And I had one of those mornings where I woke up with a little bit of a hop in my step. I don't know if that happens to normal people, where you just wake up and you just feel good. I feel good this morning. And I think I know why. Super Bowl's done and gone. Hockey season is underway. We're starting to position ourselves for the playoffs, and we'll see what happens with my Oilers. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Inconsistent this year, so, but we will see. But baseball season is on its way. Sign the boys up for Little League. The girl says she wants to run track and field. I think that'll be fun. I don't know if anyone out there has autistic children. I would think that track and field would be a good thing because it's kind of individual and team at the same time. It's very routine based. So if you have autistic children and they do track and field, let me know what your feedback is, because there's a lot of individual and independent things you have to do when you're on a track team. You know, you don't always have the rest of your team with you. You know, you are allowed to. So it's interesting, but I guess instinctively I think track and field would be very good for me. But of course, if you know me well enough, you know it's about the baseball. And this will be the first time that my boys will play on different teams because of age. I'll have one in 12U and one in 10U. And I'm curious because, you know, I've done my coaching at the house, and parents who coach, you know, coaching your own child at the house, it's never quite the same as coaching on the field, you know. And I've had my kids at the house, and, you know, I've been in the dugout. I've been their coach for the longest time. But I kind of think, first of all, especially with my youngest, with the ADHD, and the fact that I do believe that he'll shape up to be a pretty good pitcher, I think I actually want to let him go with a normal coach and keep working those side sessions at the house. That way I'm not necessarily trying to run a whole team. I am kind of focused on my own kids. I don't really know if I have the capacity to be in the dugout and be fair to all the other kids anymore. I've done that. I put kids in college ball and pro ball. And now I kind of want to be the selfish guy, but I still want to be in the dugout. So, but that'll be interesting. You know, my older boy, I think he needs space anyway. I think he's played for the old man, and he's a catcher. And I was a catcher. And of course, I'll look at him and say, you are nowhere near as good as I ever was on my worst day. But last year, I did not coach. You know, we've been moving a lot. And I guess moving a lot is the improper way to put it. We've had to move because we've been literally chasing doctors. It's hard to find doctors that give you consistent, competent care with the multiple sclerosis. It really is. But last year was the first year I did not coach them. And my older boy, who I always thought was kind of a slacker as a catcher, had a good year. Wasn't an all-star year, but it was a good year. So he goes to the 12U. And he's a little one, but he's never really been afraid of bigger kids per se. But it'll be interesting to see, first of all, if he can continue to find his way behind the plate, because 12U, older kids, theoretically more dedicated kids. And my boy's a lefty. Now, he's a lefty who thinks he's a catcher, doesn't want first base, doesn't want the outfield, does not even want to pitch. He wants to catch. And as the old man who used to do this all day, every day, I mean, keep trying, boy, but you're too lazy. But he's soon to be 11. So, you know, personalities take time to develop and all of that stuff. But I can't not tell him that he needs to have more energy. He needs to be more commanding as a catcher. You can't not say that. If you work on how we say it sometimes, so. You know, the parents, when you're at your kid's game, you got that parent that's hollering at their kid like you have scouts in the stands and all that, you know. And I've had moments where I've been that parent. I've had those moments. I had one game last year, and like I said, last year was the first year I didn't coach, and it drove me nuts. I was the guy pacing up and down because you can't run your mouth because you already have a coach. You can't sit there and talk over the coach or act like you know better, but at the same time you're holding it in. So what eventually ended up happening is I would set up a camera outside the center field fence and zoom in to basically kind of like TV, pitcher, catcher, middle infield. So you kind of got a gist of the basics of the game. And I'd watch it from a distance. Am I on my way to see my probation officer? You could say that. Yeah, sure. We all have a probation officer of some sort because we all have some things we need to do and some places we need to be. So, sure. Metaphorically, yes. But, my boy had a game, and as a catcher, honestly, he was horrible. He was horrible. I mean, dropping third strikes, not getting the glove down on the low pitches, not commanding the pace. Yeah, and these are things that you learn the more you play the position. And the more you play the position, theoretically, the more you have people in your ear giving you the advice in a sane manner, as opposed to the crazy old guy in the stands hollering that he used to do it better 40 years ago. But after they lost that game, and it was a close game too, and the truth is, had he played better as the catcher, that would have been enough. They would have won that game. But after the game, you know, he comes out of the dugout, and he knew. I gave that boy a hug, and I was like, that was terrible. That was terrible. All right, let's go home. Go home and have some ice cream. Because if you've played, if you've competed, you know this. You have those games, and you know it. You know you just threw up all over the field. It's not going to stop you from playing. Not at all. But, yeah, I let him know it. And then we went back to the house, had some ice cream, and I think it was the next morning we were out working on stuff. So, I think that's one of the great things about baseball. Because baseball is every day, if you have a bad day, you don't have time to dwell on that. You have to get your head together before the next day, and sometimes before the next couple of hours, because you'll have another game behind it. It's mentally very stressful at a higher level. And I think it's good for maturation. You know, even when it comes to little things like time management. This is one thing that I worry about when it comes to travel ball. Because my 10-year-old, he's ADHD. And when you play those travel tournaments, you have sometimes 2 or 3 games in a day. And what happens in between games, when I was coaching travel ball, I always wanted my kids to take, after the first game, you have your post-game, go take a nap, sleep right away after the game. Sleep, then you wake up, have a snack, sandwich, whatever, and we get warmed up for the second game. I always encourage sleeping immediately after games. Everyone's different. I don't think my ADHD kid would do well with that. So that would be something that would be an experience. Now, we're not in the travel realm with him. I think he has travel potential if he can keep his temper together. In that respect, he's like his old man, just a hothead. But we'll see. I'm excited. Maybe that, like I said, I woke up and I just felt good this morning. It's pretty much baseball season. Spring training for the pros, college ball is in swing, and the high school kids and the little leaguers and the rec leaguers. It's time, even though I got the snow globe going on here. But still, to me, it's the best time of the year. The second best time of the year is the fall, when you get the World Series right before the NFL playoff push. That spot, that Halloweenish area, that's the best time that's the second best time of the year. But this right here, sure, it's snowing, but you know it's kind of the end. It's time to wake back up and get outside and do some things. And the fall, when I get to harvest. When I was younger, I contemplated growing. And really because after it became legal in a certain amounts in PA. But I tell you, and it's with any level of farming, whether it's like out of the ground growing stuff farming or livestock farming, farming is hard work. And it really takes some dedication, even if you're gardening and you just have like cucumbers or something. If you want to do it correctly, it's hard work. That's not a hobby, that's a second job. But that being said, I fail at it every year in some capacity. This will be the first time in a couple of years I'll be able to get my sunflowers going. My wife loves the sunflowers. And that's another thing. Like I said, I just feel good. I mean, today is maybe in my brain the beginning of spring. You know, like I said, we got snow today. We'll probably get more before we hit the real spring. But today feels kind of good. So, don't have much more to say except Happy Tuesday. Happy baseball. And yeah, we're back on the road. Roads are safe. Snow is cleared out. Everybody have a safe day today, and we'll see how it goes. Creepy finger.